Hi, and welcome to TalkRx with Dr. Neha. I'm filming from Bali, and a topic that really has been resonating with me here since I'm sweating and I'm, really kind of in this new relationship with my body. There's all organic, there's gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, everything's just real. Like, for instance, this is my morning papaya drink, which has fresh mint in it, and even the straw is made from a papaya stem. So I'm a little spoiled here, and it got me thinking about resolutions for the new year. And oftentimes, I can't even count how many times my body was part of that. Either I was going to lose a few pounds or I was going to get stronger, whatever it was. But it was more an external looking goal. And of course, a few days, hours, weeks into my resolution, everything went kaput. So I wanted to offer that this year I've actually spent time in a different angle with my body. It's not as if sometimes I didn't need to lose weight. I wrote a book and I gained a significant amount of weight while I was sitting for 3 years. I was sitting a majority of the time and not really working out. But this was different. I started to think about my body in a new way. I started to get curious about how strong the muscle in my head was, my intellect, and that I'd spent the last 10 or 15 years really kind of connecting dropping from my head into my heart. So 18-inch distance, but a many-year journey. And when I came to Bali, really what I started to piece together was, what about the rest of my body? And could there be a way that instead of creating a punishing goal for myself, like I want to lose weight, and if I don't, then I have failed, what if I started thinking about it more around joy? And then I gently started to remember that earlier this year, I had experienced this dance class. It's called Koya, when I was in Costa Rica. And Rochelle Sheik is the founder of Koya, and it's about movement with meaning. And it's about putting together a beautiful process that allows you to remember. Like, through movement, we remember that as women, we are wise, wild, and free. And the wisdom draws upon the wisdom of yoga. The wild draws upon free dance and freedom in movement. And the free part of it is about expanding our capacity to feel pleasure in the body. And that was one of the first times in my life that I actually didn't feel annoyed or irritated when it was time to work out. I don't need any more work. I've got plenty of work. I started to think back, and I have always enjoyed playing games, even when I was young. And I love tennis, and I love games where I'm in exchange with someone else. But sometimes now I think that might also be about competitiveness and the ability to disconnect from my body so that I can focus on the strategy of a game, not as much being present in my body. So when I came here to Bali, I started journaling, and I started realizing, and I saw several healers, and I started realizing that my disconnection from my body started a long time ago. When I was very young, my mother's brother, who was 18 at the time, died on his high school graduation night in an overturned Jeep. And our family was devastated. And this was even right before I was born. So while they were all grieving, a little while later I was born, and I was the second daughter. I have an older sister. And my grandparents got called away to work at do an assignment in Africa. And so my mother, as an act of love, sent me with my grandparents at 3 months old to live with them until I was 2. Now, at 2 years old, they then came and picked me up and brought me back home. And when I've spoken to some of my relatives, they told me how much I cried and how upset I was. Well, of course, right? I thought that my grandparents were actually my parents, but I was actually being brought back to my family of origin. But regardless, even though it was like this act of love where in Indian families, your children spend time with their full extended family, like no one thinks anything of it. It's a cultural thing. And also, when I asked my parents about this, they told me how important that time of grieving and the loss of their son was for my grandparents, and how me being there was them being able to focus on this new bright light and raising a child instead of grieving. And so it made perfect sense. And then I noticed as I kept going on in my life that anytime someone would leave me, leave at the end of a dinner party, have a great exchange with them, leave and meet someone, let's say on Bali, my Bali trip, and I'd be saying goodbye, I would feel a little bit upset inside. And so I started writing about this discomfort and understanding that I think I may have checked out of my body a long time ago and not thinking it was a very safe place for me to be. And so every New Year's resolution that I made, every time I tried to get back in my body, they were all failed attempts. And I feel like for the first time this year, I didn't make a New Year's resolution about it per se. I just got curious about how I could enjoy it more. How can I expand my capacity for joy in my body? And so as you're looking toward the new year, I would offer that you might consider, if any of this resonated with you, to just see how you might expand your capacity for joy in your body, to just enjoy being in your body. So now I've worked a lot on the intellectual part of my being. I'm an engineer and a doctor. And I've learned how to connect that to my heart a little bit better. I learn more and more every day. And now I'm moving into this body consciousness, which is how do I not learn about disease and what happens to the body, or even learn about prevention in the body, but move towards how can I experience more joy in this body. So good luck as you look for New Year's, the excitement that comes with New Year's resolutions and goals. And I wonder if there's one way you can think about this differently than you ever have in the past. Thanks for being with me, and until next time, this is Dr. Neha in TalkRx.